What's up, ladies and gentlemen? I'm glad to be back today in the studio instead of me doing a Zoom call.
Yeah. I know. Last week we were on Zoom because we were both busy, and we just want to bring something to our audience. We want to make sure that we keep this thing going. We want you guys to subscribe to our channel, support our channel. We want to talk to people. We don't just want to talk to nobody.
And
So
I just want to put it out there. I just love how I'm getting feedback of some people here, you know, that watch the videos, that talk to me, and
yeah,
think I'm a little
yeah.
crazy what I'm talking about. But I'm going to prove my point today. What I'm talking about, what we're doing and stuff. But before we do, what's up, Conway? How you doing today?
Pretty good, my man. I'm
So,
doing great, my man. It's like last week I've been so busy, but at least I'm okay now. We have a lot of stuff to deal with. Even my wife has some issues going on. My granddaughter has some issues going on.
up in Philly, right?
In Philly, she's not well, and my stepdaughter, is not well. But things are okay. Besides that, I think she's coming out okay. She just came down with sugar, so she been in the hospital for some days. But besides that, we're doing okay. Life goes on. You know,
Yeah, man,
life
I've been
goes on.
busy for at the house, some stuff I've been doing and stuff like that. I'm just letting you know, Tuesday it's gonna be fun. I got jury duty.
Oh yeah. As I was telling you before we came on air, I had jury duty. The last time I had jury duty was 2014, and when I was preparing to go for the jury duty, then they wrote me another letter. No, they didn't write me a letter, but they got a place there to say whether you're a U.S. citizen or not, and I was not a U.S. citizen at the time.
Yeah.
So I just got to fill out that spot and send it back to them because I was not a U.S. citizen. That's where I got to know that only U.S. citizens can sign up for jury duty. So I became citizen, U.S.
A
citizen
year
in
later.
2015.
Yeah,
So now I'm expecting that anytime I receive a letter for jury duty,
it's not that fun. It's not
But I
that
think
fun.
I just want to have the experience. You know what I mean?
Me,
Serve my country, in some whatever way I can. I think it's fun.
I am. I'm gonna try to get out of it. That's just me serving my
Why
part,
you
trying to
want
get
why
out
you
of
want
it.
to get out of here?
It's a time waster for me. It's just there's people in there that what I hear is that some people go in there, they're like, I hope I get the death penalty. Like if it's a death penalty, he's gonna get it or she gonna get it. I don't care. I just want to see someone
But you
die.
can't go there with
you
a
get like
preconceived notion. You gotta look
I
at
know,
the
but
facts.
you
You gotta be able to look at the facts of the case. As we're saying, you don't have to sleep. You gotta make sure you listen to the
it's gotta
arguments
be
on both
entertaining.
sides.
If it's boring, I'm falling asleep. I'm telling you that now. But no, it's just the idea of certain people going there just to rule a certain way, and it's not really fair and all that. And knowing me, how I rule, I look at the facts and everything else, and I'm going to say who's at fault and everything else, and this and that. And let's say it's a civil dispute on lawsuit on like a company and a client, whatever, is suing. And let's say, for example, the client's upset because he got hurt due to something like slipping on the floor, right?
Yeah.
And he's suing. All right, and I'm gonna look at the facts. The store owner, the business owner, put down signs saying, "Be careful, the floor is wet." And you see a bucket there, guys mopping, so it's common sense. The floor is wet, and yeah, and certain people do that on purpose
Yeah,
too.
no, so
Just to sue, not to get some quick cash and leave. And stuff like that.
Definitely.
And I mostly put down the common sense is, I just, you got common sense. You see floors saying it's wet and then you see a person mopping and you slip and fall, that's on you. It's not on the stone owner and the worker, no. It's on you for being a dummy.
Yeah, I mean, you know that, as you regularly say, a lot of people just want to do these things. That there are people that really fall, generally fall without preconceived notion, but there are a lot of people who just see the sign, see the places where, even without the sign. The place is not
You
where
heard,
they go.
you heard about the McDonald's hot coffee incident, right?
No. What happened?
Woman drive up. She's, I think, going to work. She ordered hot coffee, and when she driving, taking a sip, it burned her and everything else. She sued McDonald's for hot coffee, even though you order hot coffee.
But I think she lost that case.
She won, then it got appealed again. It went up, and she lost anyway. And there's a reason why they got a label though saying caution hot coffee now on the cups now due to people like that who, like, I order hot coffee. Hello.
They give you hot coffee, and then you get
it burned me. I'm suing you.
But coming back to what you said about people slip and fall on somebody else's property intentionally, and then they go and sue because they want money. I think that has just been dubious, you know. I think that's why we have the courts for. The courts will look at the facts, but I think as a human being, you should
and get us to decide on who's right and wrong. Oh, don't want me on there.
No, but you can't start being like that. Don't try to decide. You can't try to decide.
I look at both interests.
You can't try
interests.
You can't decide
as the property owner interest and the person suing interest. I'm looking at both. Which one's it's a better situation at who's at more at fault situation type of deal.
But you will not look at it. You will not know who's at fault until you look at the entire facts in the case.
Well, that's the point of sitting there and going to jury and all that. Yeah, do you think I got time for that?
But some people can go there with preconceived notion. They say,
they don't know what case they get until they pick them. But but they're like, I hope I get a murder trial because I'm gonna give the guy a death penalty or he's guilty, this and that, blah blah blah. I'm gonna try anything I can to get out. I mean, I'm gonna.
You don't want to serve.
That's just me.
I'm different from you. I really want to serve. I really want to serve on the jury. I want to go through a jury duty and just know what the process is and go through a case and know how they decide cases and stuff like that and get that experience. You know, I really do. I take the time. Anytime they sign me off a jury duty, I would be very glad to go, and I will get a day off from work. You know.
Well, you got to.
I got a day off from work.
You got to. You've been summoned. You can't get a day off, and they say you got to be here at work. You're gonna get in trouble for not reporting. I mean, it's.
Yeah, the job will not deny you too because you have a civic
civic duty
to undertake for that time. So
well, it's not really per se because it's like you have to go. I mean, that's where people that make a lot of reasons not to go. I can't be here. Why? Because I got this. That's why there's a big list that you fill out, and just to see if they're gonna pick you or not. You know, but they also put on there at the beginning when I filled the form saying, "Do you want to serve? Yes or no." If you put no, you gotta give it a reason why. If it's not legitimate, they're gonna still tell you to report anyway, regardless. So for me though, it's just like I don't want to serve because I don't want to be there. Bring your behind in. You're going to serve regardless. We're going to pick you the first one in line.
But you know, let me tell you how jury duty works in my country. It's entirely different, and you're going to be surprised. You got people who go to the court every day just to get on the jury because they use that like a profession. So it's not like where they send letter out to people. So people just go to the court every day, and this same group of people serve on the jury every time. The same group of people.
Question: do they get paid?
They get paid.
That's the reason why they're doing it.
Yeah, because in Liberia, a lot of people are unemployed, and people don't know that. I don't think the government, take any, the government take any interest in making young people, everybody serve on the jury because there's a civic responsibility that everybody needs to get at least a fee of, need to test or get to know it. So you have these, especially older people. You know how you go to the voting booth, the voting place, you see a lot of old people here. If you go to Liberia, most of the jurors are old people, man. Old people who've been serving duty for years and years and years out. And I think what you guys do here is very good, and I hope my country of birth can implement the same thing where everybody above the age of 18 can serve on a jury, so people can use that as a profession. It should not be a profession for few people. It should be a responsibility for everybody to serve the country.
Yeah. But it's up to people who wants to serve or not, too.
Whether you want to serve or not, you should have the opportunity. If you got reason for giving out, okay, but it should not be certain old people who just think that every day it is their boundary responsibility.
You know, each state's different how they do the juries. Yeah, like New Jersey, when you've been summoned you something for a whole week. So therefore, you can't go work for a whole week. You gotta sit there and wait till they call you to come on in for a trial or not. So, yeah, it's like each state's different how they do things. So it's always like each state got their own individual rights, and so. But
I wish you all the best, man. I hope you go and serve as a juror that day and make the right decision. Don't be biased, you know what I mean?
I'm not gonna be biased.
Don't be biased.
Well, I'm gonna really be biased. If a guy comes in there with a face tattoo of everything, you know, he didn't do it. I didn't do it. Yes, you did. Yeah, right, look at it.
but you said that's why they always advise.
And they blame those people get face tattoos and everything else. Complain they can't get a job. Wonder why? You got nothing but tattoos everywhere, head to toe.
Yeah, that sent a negative picture about you to other people. Whether you're a good person, but all your skin is covered with tattoos and stuff like that. People start to judge you negatively, which of course is bias. Because you don't know the person yet, you start to judge.
No, you start to see pictures of people who do imitations, getting like putting horns on, stuff like that, spin their tongues in half, make them like a snake tongue and stuff like. It's like, why? But people weird like that.
So you say that when such a person go to court and you are the jury, you're going to say this guy is guilty because of the way he appears.
If it gets me out of jury, yes. I'll shave my head. And everything, and I'm gonna look apart as a.
We can't leave. I know we're talking about the jury duty, but no, we can't leave something until we talk about the current evacuation of citizens or people from Afghanistan, right?
They're not stranded according to the White House.
Yeah, but
they're not stranded.
But that's the thing I don't understand. They say they are evacuated close to 70,000 people. I think the first people on the list supposed to be Americans. Why are Americans?
They got Biden.
What do you mean?
They got Biden. Meaning that he forgot about him. Old Biden forgot about him. Sniffy Joe. He forgot about him.
No, man. That
no.
Sound right.
And the thing that is coming out is this. The reporters are asking the press secretary, asking her why people are stranded, and she flipped out on them saying, how dare you say it? They're not stranded, this and that. And there's all the video of people, American citizens, calling, pleading for the president. We're stranded. We can't leave. We leave, we won't get killed or worse. Well, it's not worse than that. Nothing's worse than death. But like they fear for their lives and stuff. And they're saying, please help us. We're stranded. There's audio out there. People, and yet they're lying to the people. It's unbelievable. They're supposed to be transparent to tell the truth of stuff. But he got his act together. When he came out, did the press to talk about the problem in Afghanistan.
Yeah.
Build back better. COVID. Right? The deplorables. The anti-vaxxers. He got all that. And voter rights before he talked maybe 10 minutes on Afghanistan and left.
Yeah, but the point I'm trying to get at is, if they're evacuating people from Afghanistan, the first people on the list, right? The first people on the list to me supposed to be Americans.
Exactly.
You're not trying to discount other people. No,
it's not. You don't put the military out before your people. That's the last thing you withdraw is the military.
Yeah, we
that's the last thing you withdraw. Yet he did everything opposite. Now you're stranded. You got people stranded there, and now he's saying because now the Taliban is basically dictating how America does business. They're telling them no, you ain't getting no extension. 31st is your deadline.
Yeah, but
that's it. And I bet you. How much you want to bet? After 31st, they're gonna have American citizens there, captive, as hostage, and everything else. And this video is gonna come out that they've been forgotten.
I don't think. In my honest opinion, I don't think the Taliban wants to take any risk with doing anything of catching any international, the British or American, Canadian citizens are hostage.
The British,
if they should do anything
the
like
French and the British are trying to get our people out now since Biden will not authorize for us to get our people out. There's reports of them trying to get our people out.
Well, I think they're working as a unit, so anybody can.
Unit then send our people in there too to help out, speed up the process before the deadline.
I think if I get it right, they're sending. They have contacted or they have contracted private airlines to go into Afghanistan, Kabul airport, and evacuate American citizens.
And refugees.
I hope I'm right. But,
yeah, he did. He did that, but we wouldn't be in this mess if he did everything right. See. And I think who's at fault is Bush and Obama for nation building, trying to build up Afghanistan kind of like Japan, like we did Japan. Like we nation built them and everything else. Which they're stuck in their tribal ways. They could not and therefore it just didn't work out that way, which is shown. Yeah. So we should have done. A lot of people feel that we should have done that, did our job, and got out.
Yeah, that's true. But that is as I said last week or the week before. That's what under the bridge. We at this stage now.
But the thing,
forget about when they went into that country.
But don't worry though. Don't worry though. We got it all fixed though, because you know why? China's acting up. You hear about that?
What is China doing?
Live fire and drills near Taiwan. They got their bombers flying near Taiwan, cable carrying nukes.
Well, no, listen. China is going to find it hard, based on the situation in how do you call it? In Afghanistan. The international community stayed 20 years in Afghanistan. Almost were fighting against the people. If China thinks she's going to go into Taiwan with almost 100 million people, all of them are going to take up arms to fight for the native land. If China thinks she's going to go there and overtake that country, she must be living in a la land.
But the question is this, though: China got the numbers.
That doesn't matter. So that means you got to send 10.
When you run out of bullets, numbers do lie. They only got limited supplies.
But then why is it the United States they overpower?
So China keeps threatening, telling America to stop sending supplies to Taiwan, stop giving military defense budget and all this and that, because Taiwan's buying defense like weapons and everything else from us, right? Mm-hmm. So China don't want that because they want an easy takeover, but Taiwan can probably take China for a good while, but it'd be Taiwan, but the problem is though is America will get involved, yes or no?
Let me tell you this.
Will America get involved?
America will get involved, but will not be...
No, they won't.
No.
They won't.
No, it will not be boots on the ground. It will not be boots on the ground. It will be supplies. Because let's say Taiwan has, I don't know what the population is. Maybe the population will be 20 million people. Let's assume the population is 20 million people. China will fight war in Taiwan for years. And they will withdraw from Taiwan the same way the Soviet Union withdrew from Afghanistan. The reason is you'll be fighting against people who don't want you there. They don't want you there. You're not going to, and they're not going to surrender to you. There's a fight that China should think long and hard about, because there is no way you militarily conquer. They will not be able to conquer Taiwan militarily. I can say this. They will not.
So here's a question. I think America would step back. Well, not the people per se, how we feel. We want to fight and come to Taiwan's aid against communism. But as the government and the world leaders, they won't go. Because you know why?
Why?
You want a refrigerator? You want your TV? You want your phone, your clothes, everything? Everything's made in China.
Yeah, because...
There was a bill to entice big tech, basically, chips and everything else, here to give them big incentives to come back to America, right? Mm-hmm. To bring them back. This is all within this year, how China's ramping up, how they acting, because of, dumb Biden's in there and stuff. And they turn it down because they want to keep relying on China slave labor. So then the problem is though, if we start sending supplies to Taiwan, China will cut off our supplies from our companies over there. Then we don't have supplies to give to them.
Another thing is, if it's going to cut both ways. If China should frustrate or strangulate U.S. effort to bring in refrigerators and other stuff to America, they too will also face problems because the biggest market, one of the biggest markets, is the United States. So if they say these things are not coming here, they're too going to be affected. Everybody benefits from the relationship between China and the United States. So they can say, oh, these things are not coming here, and what have you, because they have the biggest market. So their businesses need to strive, and they would need the American consumers to pay for the goods.
You ready?
Yeah.
The president is going after the richest people in China. He's going after the money and everything else, and their business. He's bringing back the communist mentality. China allowed capitalism in to get into the world's market and stuff like that, and they can see to control it, but it's still under economic control. Mm-hmm. Now they want complete control over all the markets there. So therefore, why do you think all the rich people are leaving from China? The billionaires, the millionaires, they're leaving because they know what's going on, and he wants to. Xi Jinping, the president, also put it out there.
Deng Xiaoping.
Yeah, he put out there he wants to split the wealth around. Basically, how they do, how I want to do it here. Take all rich people's money and give it out, and therefore everyone's poor.
What do you mean they want to do it here? What do you mean they want to do it here?
What do you want to do it here? Tax the rich.
How they do it? If anybody
Biden wants to raise corporate tax to 48%.
Yeah.
From 21 to 48%.
Yeah.
That's including capital gains tax will go along with it to 48%. Conway.
But you must have paid a lot of taxes.
Higher taxes.
We pay a lot of taxes.
Why raise it more?
Why billionaires can't pay their fair share?
They pay more than their fair share.
No, they pay more. They keep all the profits in lands, in foreign lands, where they don't pay any taxes.
There's some loopholes they do take tax breaks. That's the difference. But they do pay their due fair share. Because look, you pay your taxes, right? And you pay once a year, right? Mm-hmm. Business people that do business and everything else, all people that own business pay 4 times a year. Corporate tax and capital gain tax. That's not including personal, right? Then you as a business owner, you get your salary. You gotta pay 4 times a year on that too, because you make so much.
I pay tax every
but
month.
Don't worry though, it's always estimated. And those 4 times a year is estimate. So when it hits the end of the year, you get a 5th time. When they say, "Oh, we found money here and there," no, they tax additional people that run business. Because there's always an estimate, and they always say you've been undertaxed, so you owe remainder of $20,000 this year for a previous year. But oh, by the way, in a couple months you gotta start your next quarterly tax.
Yeah, but I think the taxes you are taxed based on the profitability of your business, right? You're not paying taxes in your business because business people have to take out all their expenses and all these ones before they can pay taxes. So at the end of the day, you
still got to pay property tax. So you make money or not, you still owe.
Yeah, but that one is you pay a property tax to the property owner, not to the government.
To the government. The government and the state.
Yeah, you're right. You still
have property tax. How do you think it's school taxes and all them do, man? They property tax.
I understand, but that one is fine. That one is fine. Removed.
So, but the thing is though this.
That is going to the property tax is going to the local government.
Okay, quick question. Okay, when corporate tax goes up to 48%, capital gains go up to 48%. It's always kind of like almost equal. You know what capital gains good for? Mm-mm. People's pensions. Okay, people what they gain when they what they do for stocks and stuff. Everything when they take gambles and stuff. But capital gains is your pensions. So when people laugh like higher taxes, and all like the teachers keep preaching about, oh, social is good, make the rich pay, higher taxes, this and that. When capital gain goes up, your salary of your pension, all that money is going straight to the government. You got what you asked for.
but here's the thing here is we're talking about.
But remember,
But we're talking about the
Clap
rich
for
people paying a fair
you honked
share.
that horn, didn't you?
Another thing is, I think the international community, Britain and other people, big nations now, they have agreed on a set amount of tax. I think they say 15% internationally. Everywhere a business go, they'll pay that same amount of tax, which of course is good because we're talking about cheap labor from China, slave labor from China, right? I don't know whether China will play by the rules or Russia.
They
will
never
by the
play
rules.
by the
No,
rules.
but here's the good thing about that.
The World Trade Organization,
Yeah.
right? You got strict requirements to qualify, right? Only reason China got in there because of Bill Clinton, right? Signed it, and they got the House and all that to back China and all this and that to put them in there. From day one, they never meet none of the requirements. Still to this day, of property protection, of people's what's the word again? Intellectual properties of their
Intellectual property.
yeah, of their stuff and everything else. But Bill Clinton started that, and that's when you start seeing jobs going overseas. Because back then we had a surplus of money that the government gave check to people. They put that money towards their bills, but everyone was working. There were jobs, factories, and everything else. But when Bill Clinton started, that's a domino effect. So now we're at a point now, if we get to war with China and everything else, they had to stop our supplies. Remember during the pandemic? During our pandemic?
But you're coming back to the same thing, the same argument we're making. I'm saying China benefits from the relationship from the United States.
They did. Now they don't need
China
to.
can't do that. If China does that, America get other options. There are other markets that America can buy goods from
Why?
instead of China. They ain't get necessarily to go to China. There are other markets like Japan, like Brazil, there are other places they can go to, like India, other places they can go to.
You know bag Gucci's made in Italy?
Uh-huh.
The Italian bag?
Yeah.
It's made with China materials, leather from China, right? The factory workers there are from China. They literally got a Chinatown there in Italy for to make Gucci bags, Chinese labor, right? Only thing is in there is made in Italy though, in the country of Italy. So they put made in Italy, and people pay them top dollar for it. Think it was made in Italy, which it is, but it's not legit.
No, but that is the dumbness of the Italian government. If you accept your people to work and in slavery conditions, to use the word you use.
No, they bring people in. China bring people in.
You can bring people in. The people should still be able to live or work under the standards, under the labor standard of that particular country. It happened right here in Pennsylvania where they crack down the Chinese.
They don't care.
Some Asian countries.
Money counts.
Some Asian country brought a lot of people from Asia, and they were keeping the people in some compounds, and the people were working for 12 hours a day, and they just discovered it. My point here is, you can bring anybody from China to work in your industry, but that people still have to work within the labor law of that country. If the Italian allow the people to work, the Chinese to work there on a humane condition, it's their responsibility. Then they go and sell that little bags for thousands of dollars in the United States. It's up to them. That's their responsibility.
So here's a question now. Would you, as a business owner, would you pay someone $15 an hour to make a bag, or you could pay someone 10 cents an hour to make a bag with cheap materials and still make a huge profit?
Well, every businessman wants the cheaper way out. We spend less and more
profit for them.
Profit. Yeah. Everybody businessman wants it, but that's where the government comes in.
The government is on it. They're in on it. What are you talking about? They're in on it.
The government has to make sure that
the people are working, right?
The people are working, and they're working.
So why we got that problem here now?
Which problem?
People don't want to work.
Well, that is their own problem.
And there's more people on handouts than they had back in the 90s. Because there's less jobs here. Only jobs that's pretty much left now is basically working at Scamazon, right? Or at Walmart.
But most of the business people now complaining they don't have employees. People don't want to work. A lot of people say, you said no job. They are saying people don't want to work.
No, there's plenty of jobs. There's plenty of jobs.
There are a lot of jobs. People just don't want to work. I know there are some people that are really sick, some people are disabled, they can't
But
work.
it's
But
just-
a lot of people don't
But
want to work.
it's just not like that now. I'm talking about when they fixed the job problem here with all jobs filled, right? Now you still got major people ain't working. What about them? The people that working are paying for them to live. So why you cannot? So instead of me making clothes in China, why don't they ship the factory here, make clothes here, and create 5,000 jobs here? Get them off of benefits. Make them work a decent living.
But I think the point I make about the international community all coming together to set us on a corporate tax anywhere you go is a good idea. But I hope that everybody will play by the rule because
Ireland
as you say,
ain't. Ireland
that's
ain't.
why they talk about Ireland always do that.
Ireland's not, because you know what? They said lower taxes bring more jobs.
But
It
that's
creates
not-
more jobs, and it's true.
But then you affect the other part of the world. The
It's
world-
Ireland. It's their countries, how they run it.
But then
We have no say in no matter how they do
Yeah,
business.
but then that's the flip side of it. If you make that thing in Ireland for cheap amount of goods, you should sell it in Ireland. Because if you sell it outside as a corporation, that 12% tax that you're supposed to pay or 12% tax internationally will be imposed on you as a corporation. You got to pay that one. So it better everybody plays by the rules. So if you go to Ireland, what they call the race to the bottom, which of course they want to stop at the last G8 meeting, the race at the bottom, where people want to go at the bottom, go to Ireland, charge less price than they sell, they make the things in Ireland and sell it up out the world. The corporation will still be responsible to
Only-
pay
only
12%
people-
tax on the export. Yes.
Only people gonna be benefited is the corporations, like big tech. They want it because they pay less money in taxes that way, and they can make even more money that way. So that's why they're pushing the universal taxes.
No, it will benefit everybody.
No, it won't.
It will benefit poor countries too. It will benefit poor countries because that's the thing here. If you know you're going to pay 12% tax, whatsoever the case is in every country, you got to try to make sure that you can live, you can improve the living condition of your employees.
So here's the
Make
question
sure-
though.
Yeah.
Like here's a big food for thought. Let's hear it. For New York, right? Why are people leaving New York?
Because of high taxes.
But you say it benefits it all. So why are people leaving New York? Higher taxes, right? They're going somewhere that's lower. So the poor countries basically got no taxes at all. They say, hey, come here, you do so on. Let's say they tax 1%, right?
Yeah.
It brings more jobs, more revenue in. More people working can pay taxes. That's more revenue coming in. It's simple. You keep raising taxes for what?
No, but
It's most people want to raise taxes. The people that don't work who wants more free handouts. That's what it comes down to. It's called getting a job.
what will be part of it?
Well, I could turn $40 into $400. You know how? Put $40 in gas tank and go work, get a job. You get $400. Simple.
But let's come back.
Simple.
Let's come back to the taxes. You said the government want to raise taxes, but I think the
Of
government,
course.
the international community, or the G8 or G7, whatsoever they call them, I think they have studied this issue. That the race to the bottom need to stop. Ireland, other countries, they don't need to race to the bottom because they want people.
And
to
they're not going to do it. A lot of
At the end
countries
the
ain't
day-
going to do it.
At the end of the day, everybody is affected because you talk about cheap labor in China, or you talk about cheap labor in Africa, or in South Asia. You need to stop making sure that everybody plays by the rules.
China
So
would
when you-
never play by the
when you
rules.
make-
That's the thing.
when
China
you-
would never has been ever since they joined the World Trade Organization. They never have been playing by the rules. They've been stealing people's their property, their patents and everything else. They're stealing their technology.
Intellectual property.
Yeah, they're stealing all their technology and everything else. They have not been playing by the rules. So why bother keep doing business with them? If they're not playing by the basic rules that we have now into play, yet you want to add more onto everyone else to follow, but China won't follow. And China said they ain't gonna follow either. They already said they're not gonna follow. They don't care, and yet they're still gonna push it anyway and let accept China.
Well, the international community is bigger than China. China will still have to.
They
follow
don't
the
care.
rules.
China don't
Because
care.
The problem there is if China continues to do that, I think
All right.
maybe
When
we'll
the
get them-
international community, basically all these big countries told China to knock it off from Taiwan during the G7 or G5, wherever they had a meeting in UK. right? Wherever they had it.
Yeah.
They basically told China to back off. They sent world-breaking records of them 28 fighter jets into Taiwan airspace the next day, and no one.
That's a bluff. China,
I ain't bluff.
That's a bluff. That's a complete bluff. I know.
So, but the thing though is this:
China cannot do anything to Taiwan.
you remember Biden?
China
You remember
can't
Joe? Not Joe. Obama and Biden's red line
You talk about the one in
when he was in office.
Yeah, the one in
Don't
Syria.
cross it. Don't
The
cross
one in
this
Syria,
line.
Yeah.
They cross it.
Yeah,
Well, then don't cross this line. They cross it, and he did nothing.
Yeah, but the thing.
That's the same though. So when someone's
But let me come to this point. Let me come to this point about China. I know we've been talking about this whole thing.
yeah.
I don't think the international community wants China and Taiwan to go to war because it's going to affect the whole world. But
Because
China,
everyone relies on their slave labor. That's why.
there are a lot of alternatives. There are a lot of alternatives. People can take their businesses out of China and go to other cheaper places like Africa, like India, and other places. So China can get the population, but India has the population
So
too.
here's food for thought. Well, I can make almost $1 trillion in China. I take it out, put it back in America, and I'll be lucky enough to make $1 billion.
Well, that's a personal decision for the business people to something. But
I mean,
I don't
how
know.
do you think people will
First of
invest in the
all,
market?
China is a hostile environment. China has its own problem, and you know the problem I think China has. China has internal problem that people got to be careful about, because if you think that you're going to be authoritarian in everything you do, at the end of the day, the potential for conflict is there. You know what I mean? So China can be dictatorial. Deng Xiaoping changed the constitution to stay in power for life. Now I learned on the BBC that the children going to learn about Deng Xiaoping political philosophy in the schools. He's trying to change everything to be
With
the whole,
Chinese characteristics.
yeah, with everything about China should be about him as an individual. There's a potential for real conflict, for real internal conflict, political conflict. So China has to try hard to maintain her internal politics, then to cause external aggression with how do you call it, Taiwan. Another thing I want to
So now the question is, do you think China's a threat? Yes or no?
to herself. China
To the world,
China threat is internal.
but not to the world.
Is internal.
Not to the
Because
world.
she has to be careful about her own internal affairs. That's why I look at it. She has to be careful of her internal affairs, because if you try to impose your will on the free will of people, I'm not saying of people, at the end of the day, there might be dissension within the leadership of China, the Politburo, or what they call it. There'll be dissension. There'll be anger, and people will be. At the end of the day, there might be conflict, political conflict. Who knows where it can boil down to?
They have daily shooting squad. They've got daily firing squad. They're killing people left and right. They don't care.
Let me make the other point. You talk about Afghanistan. China is stepping into Afghanistan or other places. Yes, it's true. They must step into Afghanistan, but they gotta be very careful with Afghanistan, because they are bordering country with Afghanistan, and you can look at your power. If you have subversive activities spreading all from Afghanistan into China that with the Muslim population in China, the Uyghur, whatever they call the name in China, and the spread over there, it's going to be a very, very difficult problem for China to solve. So China gotta be careful about what she does things over there.
So, but the thing is though, they have a future agreement. Is China's worried about them coming over the border and deal with the Uyghurs, the people they got in concentration camps, re-education camps, whatever you want to call them, vocational camps. That's what China called them at first, but they're basically concentration camps, and they're Muslims. And the Taliban started fighting because they care about the Muslim way, right? Mm-hmm. So now they got a virtual agreement saying that China won't get in their business and the Taliban won't get in theirs, and the Taliban don't care about the Uyghurs, okay? The non-Muslim people, they don't care, and China don't care what's going on over there. So there's somewhat a mutual agreement, so they're working out ways to mine for the rare earth material they got there and everything else, so, yeah.
Yeah, but another point I want to make, and I just hope that the government would take a very hard look about how to pull out of Iraq, because the pull out of Afghanistan, we see that, Afghanistan, just, the government just dissolve within a month. So my own fear is my advice to the government and the international community not to leave Iraq like that.
Well, he
I
can,
don't know
he
what
can,
the
he can
situation
pull,
in
he
Iraq.
can pull Obama.
You can do it?
Pull Obama. But Obama kept his promise about pulling troops out of Iraq. He did. He just sent them to Afghanistan. Technically, he pulled them out of Iraq. He kept his promise. He didn't. People thought when he gonna send them home, but no, he just sent them somewhere else.
But let me come to something about you talk about
So,
Obama, right?
Well, no, let's do another video. It's
Okay, so
all right,
thank you, gentlemen, very much for watching. You guys watch our video, man. Subscribe to our channel. We want to make sure that we make this channel big. Subscribe to our channel, comment. You know, as you said, we've been talking. A lot of people talk to me. Oh, we saw your channel. You guys are doing great. You know, they like the the video. So I hope that we can continue to put in things here every week. To make people to watch our channel and support.
Yeah,
us.
I've been getting some nice comments. Yeah, I'll tell you guys in the next video.
Have a good day, man.
All right,
We'll
yes,
talk
take it
to you,
easy.
German. Bye bye.